Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is me, and today is the day that Josh goes in for surgery. So I ended up trying that several more times and crying by the end of it before eventually just doing my makeup, doing my hair, and letting the camera run. And that's what you're about to see. Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is me, and I'm going to use another one of my life experiences today to have a chat with you about what it's like to be coping with something that is difficult for you to cope with because you already have something underlying going on. So my spouse, my partner, was recently diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma, which is kidney cancer, and he is currently, I'm literally outside the hospital waiting for him while he's in surgery. So this is a perfect time for me to sit and chit chat, although I'm finding it very difficult to talk about this because I think what's happening with me, and I have had people reach out and ask me how I'm doing, I think I'm disassociating from the situation. I have PTSD, and it's pretty normal for people with PTSD to disassociate, and I think I'm finding it difficult to consider the negative possibilities because it's so easy usually to only see the bad stuff. And I've been living with PTSD for 15 years now, and you can check out my other videos to see the bit of a backstory on that. But this is something I have actually been in this position, being the next person over from someone going through cancer a few too many times, and I can only name one person who's still here. So I have a lot of loss when it comes to this. So I think if I had to put a label to it, I would definitely call it disassociation, because this is another sign that my PTSD is working overdrive. It's very difficult to be in this position, to be the person who is the stronger person, especially since the person that is inside right now is usually the stronger person for me. And we've been through this recently for him. His father, a few years ago, was diagnosed with cancer, and he only made it a few weeks before we lost him. And I don't think we are going to lose Josh. I think this is something that needed to happen for him to have a longer, healthier life, because they found it early. We got lucky, he got lucky, they found this early. So the outcome looks good, but it is a life change for him. Having one kidney is doable, and plenty of people do it, but it is an adjustment. There are lots of things that go into it. And a bit of an extra thing about me, I actually used to work in cancer research. So when it comes to the science end of things and the medical end of things, I know a lot more than the average because I worked in it. And with this, my brain instantly jumps to two things at the same time. One, the clinical medical version of things, because I have such a large experience with that. And the other is the mum side, and jumping into the garden and making sure that my kids are okay, and making sure that my mother-in-law is okay, because not only did she lose her husband, but then the following year she lost her dad, and the next year she lost both of her little dogs, which doesn't sound like a lot to some people, but it's a big thing. And now, about the same time of year that her husband was diagnosed, her youngest son gets diagnosed. And it's unimaginable, to be completely honest with you. And I don't think that I could, definitely don't think I could do this if it wasn't for the excuse of people to look after. And I don't mean for that to come across sounding the wrong way. I definitely think that if I let myself feel too much, because I feel a lot anyway, if I let myself feel this too much, it may leach into my PTSD a little bit too much, because that's a volatile edge no matter how far through it you are. And I need something to keep me distracted. So I've got here, I've got my YouTube stuff, I've got my gardening, I've got my cooking, I've got people to take care of, and that is keeping me grounded. And once we get the all clear and everything is fine, then I can worry about me. And I do talk a lot about how you need to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. I have spoken about my sisters before. I don't speak to most of them, but I do have Kim, my eldest sister, and she is probably the only person I can collapse into. And she's not here. I will be okay. This is a mental health check-in, and one thing I advocate for is the value of a mental health check-in. If you need to, you can always contact me through here or any of my other networks, because having people around you who have been through the same thing, who understand what it's like from the right side of the box, it's valuable. And if I can use my life experience as a showcase and a demonstration that it is possible to go through the worst things in the world and survive them, then that's really, with all my heart, that's what I want to do, because I know how hard it is not to have that. And I know how easy it is to lose yourself because you don't have that. So I am fine, but fine means a lot of things. Fine means right now I'm okay because I need to be okay. Fine is I know the medicine and the science, and I know that's good. And fine means that I have people looking out for me and people I can lean on, and I know there's a time to cry, and I know there's a time to be worried, and I know when it's not a time to worry. So you've probably seen I've been doing a lot of gardening. There are lots of different ways that people cope unconsciously without even noticing. Cope with the things that they're going through. When different things happen, you may have a hobby that makes you happy again, whether it's singing like Vas, or making new content like Sicko, or if it's gardening like me. Everything you choose to do that makes you feel a bit better, it's good. And you'll find people say, well, why are you doing that? Why aren't you trying it this way? This is what I do. And that's fine as well. Maybe that person's instant reaction to the negative going on is to overshare or to offer advice because they don't know another way of helping, so they're trying to help by offering advice. Everything is correct, nothing is wrong if it works. So I'm going to keep doing my gardening, and I know that my gardening is helping me because I'm calm when I'm in my garden, and different things actually make me react in different ways. So sometimes I might need to bake, sometimes I might need to garden, sometimes I paint or I sing and I dance. When I'm really upset, you can tell when I'm really upset because I put my headphones on. I get very severe OCD about like just the stuff around me, and I either rearrange the house or I fix things or I play with things, but I will have my headphones on as loud as they possibly go, and I have a playlist that I play which is probably a little bit too loud for what I should be listening to, but it makes me feel better because some of the songs are sad, some of them are happy, some of them are angry, and it's a full spectrum of emotions. So whatever it is that I need to be overcoming, if I'm feeling bad enough, I put that playlist on and it makes me feel better, no matter what the situation. So finding what works for you to help you is the thing that is going to get you through. And don't forget to do check-ins. A check-in, I'm going to start doing maybe a live stream mental health check-in once a month because I need it. I know people who need it. It does help. So and Josh has actually been doing that's what his little videos are about. I think he's doing little diary check-ins to keep track of the timeline because he, in his own words, would say that he doesn't have a very good memory. But it's also a way for him to kind of vent a little bit. Venting is good, and I've spoken about that before too. So if you need it, talk to me down the bottom. I will reply because that's what I'm here for. It's not just about my mental state, it's about yours. And thank you to everyone who has supported Josh and I throughout this situation. I love you all. I hope to talk to you again soon.